What this does, it's a foam adhesive. It's got a little foam in the center and adhesive on either side. It comes in white or black, square and circles and strips, so you have lots of options for how to use this. It's already broken into or cut into little segments. I'm going to flip over my E here, put some foam adhesive on the back, and a little piece in the center. So when I take it off, the adhesive isn't exposed yet. I just have to expose that adhesive, and then I can lift up little elements of my design. So I could lift up a matted sticker or the chipboard letters or anything that I wanted. Let me show you an example of how to use this in your designs. Right here I have a card made where we've matted the sticker and then popped it up off the card. I'm going to turn it to the side so that you can see where that foam adhesive is. It's right there on the inside of that cardstock. So there we have an example of our design just lifted right off the page. So as you can see, you have lots of options of how to use your wet glues along with your 3D dots. And these are great options. Please feel free to use them all. There are different types of adhesives on the market. There are dry adhesives and wet adhesives. I have a couple to show you. Right here in the front, I have Zig two-way glue. This is a wet adhesive that goes down blue when it's permanent, and then it will dry to clear and be repositionable. Let me show you what that looks like. Right here I have the glue, and when you put it down, it goes down blue, and I'm going to put down a little bit extra so that you can really see what it looks like when it's blue. And when it dries, it will dry to a clear and be repositionable. So when it's blue, it's permanent, and when it dries to clear, it's repositionable. There are lots of different tips that this particular glue comes in. It is a wet glue, so when you're using the nice large tips, you want to use that with your paper crafting. So you can use it to put down large strips of borders or matted photos, and I have an example of a nice large photo that's matted right here that's put on the page with the two-way glue. This is a nice example of how to put down a nice big piece. Now you can also do some intricate work with this particular kind of glue. The Zig comes in several different tips. Like I said before, it comes in the fine and the larger tips. This is an example of the fine tip, and this is an example of the chisel tip. Now what I want to do is show you how you start the glue. When you first buy the glue, the tip is clear because the glue is not actually saturating the tip until you start it. So here you can see this is a brand new glue. In order to start the glue, you simply depress the tip, and then the glue will flow down the barrel into the tip and saturate the tip so that it becomes blue, like this example right here. Now when you're using this type of glue, you can do more intricate pieces with the fine tip and the chisel tip. So for example, I'm going to switch out my paper right here, and I am going to just put down a little bit of the chisel and a little bit of the fine. And when I do that, I can add fibers to that, or I can add a little bit of glitter. So here's an example of adding a little bit of glitter. Now I'm going to kind of move this around and get it covering my glue and tap it off. And once I've tapped it off, then you can see that the glitter has fallen right into the channel of the glue, and it adds a nice sparkly touch to our page. Over here I have an example of a page with the glue and the glitter featured along the border, and it really adds a nice touch to that particular page right in those borders and in the nice intricate places. So now there's one more tip that I would like to show you. I'm going to move this glitter off to the side. There is a squeeze and roll tip. This particular tip is different than the others in that it's not a felt tip. This is a ballpoint tip. It's like a ballpoint pen. When you use this, you need to depress the tip onto your paper and squeeze the barrel of the glue. That way the Zig Memory System glue will come right out of the actual tip. So let me show you. When I squeeze it and I depress the tip, I can dispense the glue. Now with this particular one, it's perfect for gluing intricate pieces because I practically draw with the glue and I can get right into the edges of anything that I'm gluing. So for example, I can put the paper top on this chipboard letter very easily. Now I've showed you different applications for the two-way glue. What I'd like to show you is a foam adhesive so that you can add a little pop to your designs. Having a good dry adhesive really makes a big difference in your paper crafting. Herma makes two different kinds. There's the Dotto and there's the Vario. I have samples of the Dotto right here. Comes in two different cases. One is removable and that's the clear case. The opaque one is the permanent one. We also have the tabs that are in the Vario. I'm going to show you how to use the different types of adhesive in constructing a scrapbook page. I'm going to start with the permanent Dotto. This is an easy one to lay down. You simply take the cartridge and pull it right along and it will dispense little dots of adhesive. The permanent comes out clear and you simply turn it right over and adhere that down to your page. The Vario dispenses permanent tabs. These tabs can be dispensed if you simply dial this dial right here. You get the tabs right out, you can put them down, or you can simply move the dispenser along and they will dispense right on their own. Personally, I like to move the roller right here and then I can dispense the tab right to the top and take it out and put it on my page. So I'm going to glue this right down. Then we have the removable, and I like to use the removable because there's always a lot going on at home and sometimes I like to design my page, make sure I like what I've done, and then come back and glue later. So with this one, I can simply lay down little dots of adhesive. Now this time the dots come out blue. That's how I can know the difference if I just pick up an dispenser and I put it right down, it comes out blue. So I can put that down and then I can pick it back up and decide where I want, if I didn't like it there, I can pick it back up, move it around. I can flip it over, remove that adhesive. I'm just using an adhesive remover. You want to try to avoid using your finger because your finger can have dirt on it and you don't want to leave marks on your project. So you simply take that adhesive right off. Then I can go back to my permanent and apply my permanent. And right here you can see the difference between the clear and the blue. And then I would put that down. Of course you would put adhesive on all four sides and glue that to your project. Our completed project is right over here. We have everything glued down with our pictures and our journaling block and our embellishments, and that's all completed right there. And I'm going to give you an extra tip for using that removable adhesive. This is a great tip. I like to trace things and cut them out, and sometimes I have to just kind of hold down whatever it is I'm tracing and then it shifts on me and distorts the image that I'm trying to trace. So if I take that removable adhesive, put it right on the front of the item, I can flip that over, then I get my marker and I can trace around the item that I have, and see how easy this is? I don't even have to hold it down. I can just trace right around. I don't have to worry that I put adhesive on the front of the letter or on the paper, because now I can lift it up, and if there was any adhesive left on the paper, I just take it right off, and I do the same thing on the other item that I put down. Wipe that right off. I want to show you how you now can replace the cartridges that you have inside. They're easy to do. You don't have to throw away your dispenser. You want to keep your dispenser and simply replace the tape that goes on the inside. So I'm going to lift this off, the top off. This is our Vario, and you can see how it's wrapped right around. Now I have an empty one. I'm going to get the empty one and show you how I put that in. It's very easy to do. Once you kind of figure it out the first time, you're good to go every time after that. You want to just start your tape, and this does not have any adhesive on it, so you can work with it and not worry about getting stuck to anything. I'm going to take this whole roll and put it right here on this end piece. Now, sometimes I make the mistake, I say always, sometimes I make the mistake of coming to the front of this post. You want to come around that post, and it has an adhesive remover stuff on it so it won't stick to the splits. Then you come up here and you come in the front of this post, right here at the front of the wheel, and give yourself a little extra tape. Pull this tab forward and simply lace your tape right in front of that little tab, and then close it right back up again and snap that tape in place. That holds it right there, and then move the wheel, and here you have your splits dispensing. Put your top right back on and you're good to go. So there we have our adhesive refilled. That's the Vario. Now our Dotto is the same way. It's very easy to do. Again, we just take the top off and start our tape. This one's a little bit different than the Vario because our tape is held down just a little bit. You want to give it a little tug. Don't worry, that's how it's supposed to be. And I use this little piece of tape right here as a guide when I'm lacing and weaving it through my dispenser right here. So I'm going to take this and flip it right over, and this time I put it on the top of my dispenser. Slide that right on there. And I come around the outside of the wheel, bring my tape all the way to the back, and then simply slide it into the slot that's in the second wheel. Now all I have to do is get that started, and my tape will start coming up. There it is. Put my lid right back on, and now I am ready to start crafting.